Sacred Native American burial mounds are littered throughout Appalachia. So many of the dead interred inside are not known, their names or even their stories, where they come from or how they ended up inside this sacred place. So often I find myself wondering their stories. There is one burial mound in Georgia where we know who are buried and their stories. Appalachia, the mountains, are like no other. From its rigid terrain, beautiful wildlife, to the people that live their lives here, to the strange, unexplained stories that folks share. Join me while I share this amazing place, one story at a time. In White County, Georgia, in the community named Sautee, Nacoochee, where Highway 17 and 75 cross paths, is an ordinary field. But inside the field is a mound, a sacred Native American burial site. Inside, only 2 bodies are interred. Their story is as tragic as the story of Romeo and Juliet. The mound is on the banks of the Chattahoochee River, and this is an important part of the story. Around 10,000 BC, this mound was built for the 2 native lovers. For Sautee was a Choctaw brave. He laid eyes on Nacoochee, a beautiful Cherokee princess, and immediately fell for her. They both loved each other dearly, but the issue, it was against their beliefs of both Choctaw and Cherokee to marry into another tribe. The 2, well, they didn't care. They went against their families and would often sneak away to see each other. They quite often stood on the banks of the Chattahoochee River, holding each other and professing their love for each other. Sautee, being the strong brave he was, mustered up the courage to ask Nacoochee to marry him. And of course, she said yes, for her love for him was so deep and genuine. The 2 would hatch up a plan so they could marry and be together forever. When the time was right, the 2 would sneak off one last time to never return. They would start over together in another place. The time came and they ran off hand in hand together. They ran to the slopes of the Yonah Mountain, where they would hide, for they knew once the tribes discovered their disappearance, braves would be sent in search of them. Unfortunately, they didn't hide well enough, for Nacoochee's father, the Cherokee chief, found them and was angered by her betrayal. He ordered Sautee to be thrown from the mountain face to his death. The braves did as ordered. Nacoochee would not live without him. Right before her father's eyes and tribe, she dove off after Sautee. Her father was distraught at her decision to jump, but he loved her so much that in her honor, he had the 2 buried side by side together on the banks of the Chattahoochee River, where their love grew so strong. Today, 30,025 years later, the mound still stands tall and strong as the love of the 2 had. Well, folks, I want to thank you for sitting and listening to the tale of the Sautee Nacoochee native burial mounds in White County, Georgia. Well, I appreciate you listening. I love you to pieces, and I'll see you next time.